Lezi izindaba zeTembisa online. Right, ake sikubingelele sikwamukele sawubona igama lami ngingumfanelo. UPhenyibheshu ngingowakwaDzanibe isibongo. Sikwethulela izindaba konke okwenzekayo endaweni yaseTembisa, Ivory Park, Robberies nezindawo ezisungezile. Sikwethulela umbiko lapho sithi khona uyaqhubeka umsebenzi wamaphoyisa estation samaphoyisa eTembisa ukulwisana nobugebengu nokuzama ukuxhumana namalungu omphakathi ukuze ke kuboniswane ngokuthi iziphi ke izinto ezingenziwa ukuzama ukulwisana nobugebengu kanti ke siphinde sibheke futhi nokuthi ke ibuphi ubugebengu obudlalubi nanokuthi ke kungalwisana nabo kanjani. Siyazi ukuthi ke futhi sibheke esikhathini ke sama holiday wephasika kuningi ke kufanele kwenziwe amaphoyisa sizokhulumisana naye uBrigadier Nkuna ongumphathi station samaphoyisa eTembisa kodwa ke ake siqale ke sidlule ngapha.
This Easter holiday experience safety, service and excitement with the South African Police Service at the Rand Show.
From the 2nd of April to the 6th of April,
the South African Police Service will be proudly showcasing our work and engaging with the community. Visit us at Hall 5, where you will learn more about the important role SAPS plays in keeping our communities safe. Meet our dedicated members, explore our equipment, and discover the different units that work tirelessly to protect South Africa. Come and learn about the different career paths within SAPS and what qualifications you need to be a part of those units. Outside the hall, experience thrilling demonstrations and displays showcasing the skill, technology and teamwork of the South African Police Service. From specialized vehicles to operational units, see firsthand how SAPS works to serve and to protect. This is your chance to connect with the men and women behind the badge, ask questions, take photos, and learn how we can work together to build safer communities.
Njengalokhu ke bakwethu sesikhona sikuthembisile ukuthi ke sokwazi ukuthi sikhulumisane naye ke umphathi station ke samaphoyisa khona la eTembisa. Ngiyaye ngithi ke mina ke kuningi okwenziwayo, muningi futhi umsebenzi wamaphoyisa nenhlaka ehlukahlukene la emaphoyiseni. Abantu ke bayaye bekhala ngento eziningi kodwa soke sithi ukukhulumisana naye umphathi sithole kabanzi ukuthi ngabe umsebenzi wamaphoyisa nomphakathi nokubambisana kuhamba kanjani. Brigadier Nkuna, please if you can introduce yourself to umphakathi waseTembisa usichazele ukuthi ungubani uBrigadier.
Mina Brigadier Nkuna, igama Cyril, station commander wala Tembisa Police Station. And then in terms of ukusebenzisana nomphakathi la ekhaya sine CPF esebenzisana nayo, sinama patrollers, and then sinawo even namanye ama stakeholders from security companies including pastors and then also other business people esebenzisana nabo ukulwisa crime la eTembisa.
Combating crime, how does it look like? Are we winning or do you still have some challenges there and there?
We are winning, even though there are some challenges. And then when we look at the crime for the past 9 months, the station is still faring very well. In terms of 17 community-related crimes, we have a decrease. And then also in terms of our trio crimes, we are also decreasing. However, there are certain crime categories that are giving us a problem in terms of property crimes, and then also contact-related. In terms of contact-related, we're talking about the malicious damage to property, and those crimes they are happening indoors, which within the home setting. So we have a very sharp increase in terms of those crimes. But what we are doing, our social crime prevention, and then is having meetings with the community, including myself, every Wednesday, and then we are having meetings and then also highlighting those kind of problems that we are encountering. And then in terms of property crimes, we see house breakings, theft of motor vehicles, theft out of motor vehicles that are giving us problems in our area. But what we are doing is that in terms of community engagement and also visiting pawn shops, because these people, when they break their houses, that means they have a market somewhere, and then they are selling these things at pawn shops and so on. And then we visit those pawn shops and then to see if we can find those things. In some instances, we do make arrests in those shops where we find things that are stolen or that are not accepted according to the Second-Hand Goods Act. Yes.
House breakings. I think it's one of the nightmares when you are sleeping, then past 1, 2 o'clock, boom, boom, kulu, kulu, kulu. How much of a problem, and how are you addressing the problem?
Yeah, it is a huge problem. That when you are sleeping, it becomes a house robbery,
House robbery.
house robberies. Yeah, we are, in terms of using our crime intelligence to look at who are the people that are operating around our area. Sometime last year, we made a breakthrough and then we made some arrest, and then it was quiet for a period of time. But now we are seeing that it is coming up once again. So we have gone back to the drawing board and see whether the perpetrators, are they the same perpetrators, or is there a new grouping that is operating within that space. Now, the sectors that we identified, your sector 4, also including Winnie Mandela, where such things are happening, and then we are having deployments there. And then also having the VCPs around our hotspot areas, so that each and every vehicle that is coming around there, we search and look for these stolen properties. Mostly things that are taken, it's your TVs, your cell phones, and so forth. And then, but also not forgetting that we are having patrollers that are working with us, that are patrolling the streets of Tembisa. So we also work hand in hand with them. I can tell you that yesterday, some of the committee members apprehended someone who was trying to hijack a vehicle. And then because the committee was alert, then they also informed the police, and then we managed to make one arrest in relation to that.
Girlfriend and boyfriend related cases where you find umuntu uyazijolela and he can't come and give a proper statement because endlini bazothini ukuparaga. How much of a problem is it now compared to at least 4 years ago?
You see, the domestic violence cases, it's also problematic, because the volumes of the cases that are reported, they are high. However, in my station, if such cases are reported, we don't withdraw those cases. I've given an instruction that such cases must not be withdrawn at the station, and then they must go there by the magistrate to withdraw them. But here at the station, it's no longer like before, that people, they come, they open a case after 2 hours because someone paid another person, and then they get withdrawn, or the family interventions, you understand, and then we don't withdraw. But also here at the station, we do have social workers that are also attending to such cases. Others, they just want maybe the perpetrator to be reprimanded, and then, or maybe to give solutions to certain problems. They can be economical, that the husband is not bringing money at home, that's why there are these fights, and then they intervene in those cases. But still, we still have a high influx of these cases that are reported. And then, yeah.
Okay. Mhlambe okunye esingakubheka Brigadier ukuthi the relationship or the workmanship between you and the courts. The arrests that you make versus the convictions. Are you saying you are happy, or it's one of those challenges that you think it needs you to also just follow up and make sure that the courts also do what is being done on the left?
Yeah, that is a very thorny issue. But my station and with the courts, we are in good working relationship. We have the case flow meetings, meeting with the prosecutors, and also with the chief magistrates on monthly basis, and then they also talk about their frustrations in terms of quality of statements that are in the dockets, and then instructions that are not being followed up. So those things we also talk about them, and then also in terms of the prosecution, that side, in terms of cases that are being withdrawn, because us as the justice system, the police and the courts, we have to ensure that the perpetrators at the end of the day, they get justice, and then we have convictions in terms of that, so that out there people must know that the police and the courts, they are not playing when it comes to perpetrators of crime.
Yeah. What is one thing that you think the community don't understand in terms of the operations of the police station? People always complain. You meet the people and they always have some submissions. What is one major thing that you think you need to address between the trust of the community and the police?
Yeah, you see, trust for over decades, between the community and the police has been broken, and you find that the community, when they have information, they are not coming forward in terms of that. And then also, you need to know that us as the police, we cannot be successful if we are not getting information from the community. So working hand in hand with the community, that will assist us in solving so many crimes. You see, so that's why it is very important that also on our side, when we are having a good convictions in terms of serious crimes, we publish it out there in the community, so that they can see that police of Rabasotho or of Tembisa, they are working, because the perception out there is that police are not doing their job. You see, but we are doing all the best that we can to make sure that Tembisa it's a safe place. Because even when we are looking at our crime for the past 2 years, it's on a decrease. But it's on a decrease, but it is not what we want. But we are still pushing on, so that the community of Tembisa becomes happy. And when we are doing this community engagements every Wednesday in different sectors, and then I get the feel that the people, they are appreciating what the police are doing, the work that we are doing, and we received positive stories. So at least that also encourages us to do more, so that we can decrease the crime.
Okay. Before I go to my colleague there, Floyd, let me ask, we are just heading to Easter. A few days before we are at the Easter, we used to see some cases where there's like robberies at churches and everything. Are we going to see more boots on the ground? Are we going to be safe this Easter?
Definitely. That's why we are here, to provide protection. There will be deployments for Easter. We'll be having operations. And then those that will be drinking holy water, they must just stay at home and not be behind the steering wheel, because we'll be out there and then we'll be arresting, whether from drunken driving, whether from other crimes that are committed. We'll be all out and then making sure that the people of Tembisa, they are safe.
Yake muzwa kwethu ngiyacabanga ukuthi ke ukwazile ukubona ubheke ukuthi ke nawe ngabe kuhamba kanjani ngomsebenzi ke wamaphoyisa. Asibonga kakhulu ke kuye ke usayitsheni Mgijima obhekele zokuxhumana kulesi station ngokuzama ukuqinisekisa ukuthi siyakwazi ukukhulumisana ke naye uBrigadier Nkuna. Sibonga kakhulu ke nakuye uBrigadier. Kanti ke nami ngumfanelo UPhenyibheshu wakwa Dzanibe, angihambi ngedwa, ukhona ke ubanele uBrazo wakwaSonto.